2016 was a funny old year. It started with the death of two musical icons and culminated in Britain exiting the European Union and the election of part-time wrestler and full-time demagogue Donald John Trump. The bitter silver lining was a mass worldwide political awakening. Everyone has to be engaged now because, let's be honest, it's a terrifying, perversely exciting time to be alive. My name is Mattie Vant, frontman of arrogantly and imaginatively titled punk band Vant. On the day of the US election, we took to the streets of London with placards urging Americans not to do a Brexit, determined to use our voices in the real world away from the self-serving algorithms of the internet. I've been fascinated by the leader of the free world ever since he forced his way into mainstream politics. On a spontaneous whim, I booked a flight and headed to Washington, DC the day before Donald Trump's inauguration. This was going to be a monumental moment in human history. How do we get to this point, and who would fight back against the most controversial politician of our time? I woke up on the morning of the inauguration with an open mind and wanted to approach those in attendance with respect as well as intrigue. They were, after all, the winners in a viciously fought race, and I expected it to be an occasion of over-the-top, American-style celebration.
Hey guys, come on over. Credentials, $5. This moment for a year, ever since he announced. I'm over the top. I think he says what he means and he means what he says. And I think he's going to put into action plans that are going to bring back jobs and bring back our economy. And that's what this country needs more than anything right now, I think.
So how did it feel on the the day of the election and you got the results in and you realised that this day was going to happen?
You never thought you'd see the day Donald Trump, reality TV star, sitting next to Barack Obama, President of the United States, and now taking over as president.
And does his background bother you at all?
I mean, if it wasn't for his multi-billion-dollar business company around the world, he wouldn't have a chance.
Was there anything that ever sort of made you question your position on Trump?
Yeah, when all the women came out about being sexually assaulted, that's when I had to actually start to think. I thought he was going to lose at that point, actually. If I could tell Trump one thing, I'd say do it right. Do it right and do it for the people.
It's going to get the economy moving again with lower taxes for you, my friend. Thank God for Donald J. Trump, my friend, making America great again. That sounds like a good idea to me. Come on, sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah, let's stop everything. Hold on, he wants a photo. Stop everything.
All the
Stop
way,
the press.
All the way from Vietnam, huh?
All the way.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a very shocking reality that this happened. No one ever expected that, like, Donald Trump is going to be president of the United States. And that was the reality we were facing.
I never expected that. Yeah, like, we wanted our president to be, you know, for women, for the LGBT community, for people that, you know, includes us. And
for the entire country, not just like the select few.
So we were sad.
President Trump is going to make a difference because I think that what he's going to do is make a more business-friendly environment so the companies stay here and more people have an opportunity to work. That's what it boils down to. Because that's what people need. People need jobs.
Donald Trump's arrived at the White House. How are you feeling? It's a monumental occasion.
We're feeling pumped. We're part of history right now. I think for now, we may still be the center of attention because of our outfits.
They're pretty impressive. It also looks like if there's a heavy snowstorm that you guys are going to be
we're prepared.
Totally
prepared.
Most prepared, yeah.
We didn't come here because we love Trump. We didn't come here because we hate him. We came here because we love America. Okay. So we just want to support the country, spread the love of America, a little patriotism, because I think our country is a little bit lacking in that right now.
The atmosphere wasn't quite as I had expected. A lot of people seemed to be there out of obligation and tradition. Although many were excited by a Republican president, few were keen to endorse Trump as an individual candidate. But that wasn't going to stop the Donald as he was about to take the presidential oath.
And will, to the best of my ability, and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
Now that Trump was officially president, the crowds moved from the National Mall to Pennsylvania Avenue to witness the traditional military parade and perhaps catch a glimpse of the man himself. As we arrived, tensions were beginning to rise. Thousands of protesters had gathered and become intertwined with frustrated Trump supporters.
Protesters are very ignorant because they are not knowing, like they don't know who I am, they don't know I'm a firefighter, they don't know that my fiance is a police officer, they don't know that we stand on the front line to protect the innocent like them. My best friend's a lesbian, she voted for Trump, so I mean, we're all different people. It's not one, we're not cookie cutter Republicans or cookie cutter voters.
Well, my fear is that Trump has fascistic tendencies. My real concern is that in 4 years, if there should be a close election, I really wonder whether he would give up power.
Called a fag 10 times today. That is a bummer, for sure.
Yeah, were you shocked by that, or?
To have a country like America, which prides itself on supposedly being free, leading the helm, does not point to any kind of sunshiny days ahead.
Sweetie, I was educated long before your parents were.
Okay, so then are you brainwashed as well?
We're going to get excited about Trump, and rightly so. I voted for him myself. But we need to also get excited about Jesus Christ.
You ask what you could do. Matters of race. Right. You will never understand. So you need to shut the fuck up. We're not equal? We're not equal? No, we're not equal when we're talking about. You're better than I am. No, sir. We are not equal. We are not equal in this country. That's why we're fucking here.
I feel like most protesters kind of try to stereotype us as, oh, you voted, you're Republican, you're a bigot, or you're against abortion. That type of stuff, that's way down on the list of priorities. I want security, and even more, I want our debt under control. And I want our country unified. I really do think America, I'm not saying that we're not great, but I think that every American can walk around with their chest pumped out and have that feeling of, hey, the American dream's not lost.
As the new Commander-in-Chief watched over his military, I changed into my finest suit to blend in with Washington's social elite. I'd heard about the infamous inauguration balls and wanted to see firsthand what all the fuss was about. Hey, maybe I'd even managed to blag my way in.
So there's a very, very long line to get in. And then, you have to go through security, very much like the airport. And when you get in, it's a huge convention center, lots and lots of bars, several stages, lots of music.
Just let me through, my dashing good looks and charm. Come all the way from England for this ball, man. I don't know where it is. Honestly, I had it before. It didn't work, man.
This is my piece here.
Yeah.
Make America Great Again. It's showing where he lives. President of the United States of America in the sky. His first Cadillac with the fax machine and the shredder.
Man with a vision, because he's a man with a vision. He ain't got no Republicans, he ain't got no Democrats. He's got all business people in his box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know why? Because they know how to make a business. They know how to make $1 billion. They know how to bring this country back to where we're going to be billionaires again.
It's just been a wonderful
hard year and a half because I was a Trump supporter from the beginning. He is the most well-prepared president with the most experienced cabinet. I really think we need to be taking care of our military, our wounded warriors, improve our veterans, stop the immigration, build the wall, everything that Donald Trump stands for.
As I was getting to know the locals, a group of anti-Trump protesters threatened to spoil the occasion. It seemed like the city was divided, just like the country, between passionate supporters of Trump's America First brand of politics and those who would never buy into his nationalist agenda.
We are sending a message to the Trump administration that we will not accept any policies or legislation that is bigoted or hate-filled. We're out here to say that people and the planet matter more than profit. Fascism will never be allowed in the United States.
The protesters continued off into the night, but inside the inauguration ball, Trump and First Lady Melania took to the stage for their first dance. I couldn't help but wonder what was going through his mind. A renegade businessman with no previous political experience faced a sharply divided electorate. Half of the country was enthralled by the prospect of change, and the other half terrified by the potential threat to their civil liberties. It was the end of one of the most surreal days of my life, and it left me thinking, where will America go from here? It was the day after the inauguration, and Washington had become the centre of a worldwide protest movement, with thousands of demonstrators flooding the streets in support of women's rights. This was a protest on an unprecedented scale, and I wanted to meet the people leading the fight back against a president surrounded by allegations of sexual assault and misogyny.
This election kind of showed everybody what kind of hatred exists in the country, and a lot more people represent equality and open-mindedness than hate, and so these people are here not necessarily to represent other people, but just to show that there isn't that much hate in the world. I think people are now scared and afraid, and that's what's propelling them to take further actions.
Whether it's, immigrants, abortion rights, equality under the law, all kinds of freedoms. Economics, health, access to health care. These are things that women can connect, and our responsibility, our duty following today is to carry this momentum forward.
I felt in total awe. I'd never witnessed anything on the scale of the Women's March in my entire life. Wherever I looked, there was love, compassion, and a determination to continue the legacy of our forefathers who fought so hard for their rights. On Trump's first day in office, hundreds of thousands of demonstrators were marching towards the White House, making it clear to him that women's rights are human rights.
When Trump won, you had this heartbreaking feeling that you didn't know your country. The progress you felt had been made was going to come crumbling down, and to come here and to see that there are hundreds of thousands of people who felt the same way and are going to fight against it is so heartening. I've learned more about how my government works in the past few months than I've ever cared to know. I'm fucking making calls, I'm mobilizing, I'm donating to things, I'm researching, I'm educating myself. It's not gonna end.
The government isn't representing what we want or our rights. As a Muslim, as a person of color, as a woman, this is not what America represents. I feel like we've gotten to the point where we can't just sit back anymore and just watch things happen. I think a lot of people, not just us, but everyone here probably feels the same way, where we feel like we have to start doing stuff other than just sitting around and complaining. There's no more complaining. That's not enough. It doesn't do anything. We have to get involved.
I am proud that a lot more people are here. I mean, I'm sure this has got to be destroying. Donald Trump has got a huge ego, and he hates when people jab at his ego. The one thing throughout the entire general election was every time Hillary Clinton jabbed at his ego, it threw him off his game. And this has got to be killing him. That there are more people here in DC to protest the against him, then we're here yesterday to support him. We are not their slaves. We are not their property. We do not work for them. They work for us, and they need to start acting like it.
I understand that Trump supporters, they felt neglected, you know, from the rest of the country, and I don't necessarily see their sides, but I'm willing to engage and interact with them because I don't think, you know, they're people too, and whether their values and my values differ, like they exist on the same land with me, and I think it's important that we come together and have a dialogue and not aggressively, not violently, but intellectually and calmly and kindly, maybe we can find a common ground.
As I stood in front of the White House, the reality of the situation dawned on me. Donald Trump is the President of the United States of America. Whether you're a protester or a supporter, this is the new reality. What on earth will he do with all that power? My time in Washington was coming to a close, but before flying back to Britain, I wanted to see what had become of the National Mall. Over the last 2 days, I'd seen this space transform from a hotbed of Republican triumphalism to a nighttime playground for America's elite to the centre of one of the largest global demonstrations in history. I couldn't help but feel that things were back to business as usual. The streets were empty except for a few holidaymakers snapping selfies in front of Washington's most prestigious landmarks. I wondered whether the high hopes and optimism of the Women's March would continue into Trump's presidency. Would he be a president for all Americans like he promised, or would he keep sowing the seeds of division and preaching American carnage? Looking around the mall and the tourists going about their lives made it clear that it's people who have the power to change history, to make or break presidents, to shape the way they are governed, to demand equal rights for all. And in that, at least, there is hope.